Hi guys, this is O-Level Chemistry, paper 12, June 2016, question 1. Which row correctly identifies the gas? So the first gas is Cl2 and the test is damp litmus paper and the observation is the litmus paper turns blue. No, this observation is incorrect. However, the test performed is correct because chlorine will turn blue litmus red and then bleach it. And if red litmus is used, it will directly bleach the red litmus paper. So in effect, whether the litmus paper is blue or red, the final result is that the litmus paper is bleached in the presence of chlorine. Next, ammonia. Damp litmus paper, the test is correct. Litmus paper turns red, no. Ammonia is a basic gas. It will turn the damp red litmus blue. Next is oxygen. The test for oxygen is lime water. No, this is not the test for oxygen. And the observation is no changes observed. So since the test is incorrect, observation would be incorrect as well. The test for oxygen is that it relights a glowing splint. And the last gas is SO2. And the test is acidified aqueous potassium manganate. Yes, that is the test that is performed for sulfur dioxide. The color of the solution changes from purple to colorless. Yes, because it gets oxidized. So the correct option for this question is option D. Question 2. A student plans two experiments. Experiment 1. Find the concentration of a solution of sodium hydroxide by titration with dilute hydrochloric acid. So this experiment is titration. And experiment 2, find the rate of reaction. So the experiment is rate of reaction between pieces of calcium carbonate and dilute hydrochloric acid by measuring the volume of gas every minute. So we measure the volume of gas given off. Okay, a flask is provided. Which other apparatus is needed? So for experiment 1, we've got concentrated solution of sodium hydroxide and dilute hydrochloric acid. Do we need a weighing balance? No. A measuring cylinder? No. A thermometer? No. Okay. We need a burette and a pipette? Yes. And we don't need a gas syringe and a clock for experiment 1. For experiment 2, we need a gas syringe and a clock. However, the apparatus required for experiment 1 is incorrect, so this option is incorrect. We don't need a balance or a measuring cylinder or a thermometer for experiment 2. Now, since the apparatus for experiment 2 is incorrect, so this option itself becomes incorrect. Next, we need a gas syringe for collection of gas. Yes. We need a clock to time the collection of gas. Yes. So in this option, both experiments 1 and 2 have the correct apparatus listed. And the last one, we do not need a burette or a pipette for experiment 2, making this option incorrect. Therefore, the correct option for this question is option C. Question 3. Q is a pure sample of a substance that has a single RF value of 0.9. In the chromatogram shown, which letter represents Q? So since the RF value is 0.9, that means the distance traveled by the solute is very close to the distance traveled by the solvent. So the solute that has the greatest distance traveled is this and this. However, A cannot be the option because it says it is a pure sample. A has two components present, whereas C has only one component. And when we calculate the RF value for this by using the formula x upon y, we get a value of 0.9, which is the value given to us in the question. So option C has a pure substance having an RF value of 0.9, making option C the correct option for this question. We did not consider B and D because B and D, the samples are pure, but they do not travel a greater distance to actually have an RF value of 0.9. The greater the RF value, the greater the distance traveled by the solute. Question 4. Which statement about the isotopes of bromine is correct? They are the atoms with the same number of, since they are isotopes, so they have the same number of electrons and protons, but different number of neutrons. So option A says electrons and different number of protons. No. B says have the same number of neutrons and the same number of electrons. No, neutrons have to be different. They have the same number of protons and the same chemical properties. Yes, isotopes have the same chemical properties as well. So this just mentioned protons, so they will have the same number of electrons as well. And the last option, protons and the same no, their physical properties will be different. Isotopes have same chemical properties, making option C the correct option for this question. Question 5. Compound Z is made from elements X and element Y. Compound Z is a good conductor of electricity when molten but not when solid. That means Z is an ionic compound. Which statement is correct? Compound Z has strong force of attraction between electrons and positive ions. It is not a metal, it is an ionic compound. Compound Z has strong force of attraction between negative ions and positive ions. Yes, that is how an ionic compound is described. Element X and Y are both metals. No, one of them is a non-metal. And elements X and Y are both not non-metals. No, one of them is a metal. Therefore, the correct option for this question is option B. Question 6. Copper wire is used to complete an electrical circuit. What happens in the copper wire? Electrons move along the wire to the negative terminal. Positive ions stay in position. No, electrons will move towards the positive terminal. The direction of electron flow is from the negative terminal towards the positive terminal. So this is incorrect. Electrons move along the wire to the positive terminal. Yes. Positive ions move to the negative terminal. No. Positive ions will not move. Positive ions do not flow. It is just the flow of electrons that creates a potential difference. Next, electrons move along the wire to the positive terminal. Positive ions stay in position. Yes, positive ions do not move. Negative ions move along the wire to the positive terminal. No, it's supposed to be electrons, not negative ions. Therefore, the correct option for this question is option C. Question 7. Which statement shows that graphite and diamond are different forms of the same element, carbon? Both graphite and diamond have a giant molecular structure. This does not explain that they belong to the same element or they are made up of the same element. Complete combustion of equal masses of graphite and diamond produces equal masses of carbon dioxide and no other product. Yes, because both are made up of carbon only. So when carbon burns in oxygen, it produces carbon dioxide alone. Graphite and diamond have different melting points. This is correct, but this does not explain that they are made up of carbon. Graphite conducts electricity, whereas diamond does not. This statement is also correct, but does not explain that they are both allotropes of carbon. Therefore, the correct option for this question is option B. Question 8. Ethene, C2H4, is a covalent compound with a simple molecular structure. Yes. Which statement about ethene is correct? Ethene is a liquid at room temperature and pressure. No, it is a gas. Liquid ethene conducts electricity. No, ethene is a covalent compound. Even if it is liquefied, it will not conduct electricity. One ethene molecule contains 16 protons. This needs to be calculated. So ethene has 2 carbon atoms and 4 hydrogen atoms. So the proton number for carbon is 6. So 2 into 6 gives us 12 plus 1 into 4 gives us 4. In total, 12 plus 4 is 16 protons in all the atoms present in ethene. So one ethene molecule contains 16 protons. Yes, this is correct. And the last one, the total number of shared pair of electrons in ethene is 5. Shared pair of electrons. So carbon-carbon double bond. So this is sharing of 4 electrons. That means 2 pairs. Then each carbon forms a covalent bond with 2 other hydrogen atoms. So this would be in total 4 more pairs. So 4 and 2, in total we have 6 pairs of shared electrons. The statement says the total number of shared pair of electrons is 5, making this statement incorrect. Therefore, the correct option for this question is option C. Question 9. An organic compound has the molecular formula C8H16O4. What is the empirical formula of this compound? So, as we can see, 8, 16, and 4 are all multiples of 4. So, if we divide this entire compound by 4, that means we divide each number of atom by 4. We are left with 8 divided by 4 is 2, C2. 16 divided by 4 is 4, H4. And 4 divided by 4 is 1, O, C2H4O. So this is the empirical formula for the compound with the molecular formula C8H16O4, making option A the correct option for this question. Question 10. Compound P is the only substance formed when two volumes of ammonia gas react with one volume of carbon dioxide gas, both volumes being measured at RTP. So we have got 2 moles of ammonia and 1 mole of carbon dioxide. So this will form a compound in which NH2, CO2, NH4, because it says it is the only compound that is formed, only substance formed. And since it is the only substance formed, that means this would have all the atoms in the same molecule. So this is the only possible structure selected from the given structures, because in the next example, we have got in total 4 hydrogen, whereas there are 2 hydrogen missing. In the next one, we have 2 additional hydrogen. There is supposed to be in total 6 hydrogen, but this structure has 8 hydrogen. And in the last one, there is an additional 2 hydrogen and an additional oxygen atom present. So, because of these differences in the number of atoms, options B, C, and D all are incorrect, making option A the correct option for this question.